Welcome to Trump's world. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe, like, share, comment and click on the notification bell for awesome news vibes. Donald Trump is back in the headlines, and he is mad. After losing his Fox network endorsements, it seems the red-haired red right-wing Trumpster is laying the smackdown on anyone who opposes him. But this one has good cause. Trump recently took to his Truth Social network and slammed Trevor Noah. As per Truth Social, Trump said, "The guy had no talent, no charisma, and very little intelligence. Why would anyone have expected him to do well? What a stupid choice. If they put a pro-Trump person on, it would go through the roof, but they're too dumb to know that." According to Breitbart, Trevor Noah officially exited The Daily Show Thursday night, leaving tens of thousands of people wondering what they will do without him, and 329,632,000 people asking who will replace him. That's a lot of people. Sometimes numbers are exaggerated to satisfy networks attempting to suggest their shows are more popular than they actually are. Noah replaced Jon Stewart as The Daily Show host in 2015, a whopping 8 years ago. Stewart was also a ratings failure, acquiring a tad over 1 million viewers every night, and even those numbers might be exaggerated. Noah seemed determined to prove there is a number less than zero and proceeded to lose about 75% of Stewart's already minuscule audience. That's bad. There's always YouTube, Noah. Always YouTube. For at least 7 years, Donald Trump and his neo-fascist movement have inflicted abuse of many kinds on the American people: emotional, physical, financial, spiritual and psychological. The Republican Party and the conservative movement have, for the most part, been eager participants and accomplices in this abuse. As the 2022 midterm elections suggest, many Americans are finally trying to break free of this abuse. That, however, is the most dangerous time in any abusive relationship, when the abuser often lashes out and does everything they can, up to and including extreme violence, to keep the victim under their control. There will be some type of formal legal action taken, such as a divorce or restraining order. There will be some attempt by the abuser to push the boundaries of the restraining order, for example. That can involve physical stalking or online stalking. They may make a dummy account to track and stalk their target online as well. The relationship is formally dissolved, but the abusive elements still remain. Now, if we think of Trump as being in an abusive relationship with the American people, this is unique in the country's history. The worst thing one can do for a malignant narcissist or an abuser like Donald Trump is to tell him or her that they are correct or to otherwise validate the lies and false persona. Because then not only is this person pathologically telling themselves how special they are and how superior they are, but they have an echo chamber that is telling them the same thing. Trump and his movement have been slowed down in their attacks on democracy and human decency, but they have not been stopped or defeated. Just before Thanksgiving, Trump hosted the anti-Semitic rapper Kanye West, who now styles himself Ye, along with white supremacist and neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes, for dinner at Mar-a-Lago. Last week, a group affiliated with the anti-Semitic Canaan cult held an event at Mar-a-Lago. Trump welcomed them in person, saying, "You are incredible people, you are doing unbelievable work, and we just appreciate you being here, and we hope you're going to be back." The next day, Trump endorsed a message on his Truth Social site, which claimed that the January 6 Capitol attack and coup attempt was a false flag operation designed to entrap or incriminate innocent Trump supporters. That narrative fits into a much larger disinformation and propaganda strategy by Trump and his movement, seeking to minimize or falsify the events of that day, while simultaneously supporting and encouraging right-wing political violence. In a hearing held before the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals last Wednesday, an attorney for Donald Trump argued that when Trump was president, he could have told his followers to burn Congress down and would still have been immune from any lawsuits brought against him by the victims. This Bloomberg News report provides the context for that extraordinary. In essence, Trump is arguing through his lawyers that he was or is almost entirely above the law. That certainly aligns with his most ominous recent threat to American democracy and the country's future, his proclamation that the Constitution should be terminated in order to return him to office immediately. Trump has never stopped claiming that Joe Biden is an illegitimate president and should be removed from office. This is not just hyperbole or empty rhetoric. Public opinion research shows that Trump has millions of followers who are potentially willing to support or engage in acts of terrorism to accomplish such a goal. Although a handful of prominent Republicans have begrudgingly criticized Trump's direct threat against the Constitution and the rule of law, most have remained silent, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Trump's supposed political rival. David Joyce of Ohio, chair of the Republican governance group, even said in an ABC News interview that Trump's threats against the Constitution were not automatically disqualifying and that he would support Trump if he becomes the 2024 Republican nominee. Americans are exhausted and deserve a moment to catch their breath. An extended struggle to defend, secure and expand democracy still lies ahead. In a statement, the Lincoln Project, a leading anti-Trump conservative group, sounded the alarm about this perilous moment. Donald Trump and the MAGA movement must be defeated, or the American experiment will come to a crashing end. Americans must join together, place their policy differences aside, and confront the existential threat posed by Donald Trump and his anti-democracy supporters in 2024. A new op-ed at the Kansas City Star perfectly channels how so many Americans are feeling in this moment. If you listened closely, you could hear millions of Americans sighing with relief Tuesday night as the results from Georgia's runoff Senate election came in. Absolutely true. Americans are exhausted and need to catch their breath to prepare for what will still be an extended struggle to defend, secure, heal and expand democracy against neo-fascism and authoritarianism and other forms of civic and societal evil. There is no question that the election of Joe Biden and the mixed results of the 2022 midterms has gained pro-democracy forces a little breathing space. But the Republican fascists and the larger white right and conservative movement are not done with their abuse. Republicans will soon control the House of Representatives and will do everything in their power to inflict further pain on the American people, which will only be amplified by the country's pre-existing forms of inequality and the structural violence it inflicts on millions of vulnerable Americans every day. Some factions of the right are quarreling and divided, which is helpful, but they will be back, not remotely deterred in their attempts to end American democracy and to engage in acts of maximum cruelty against the long list of people they consider their enemies. Now is not the time for the American people and the country's pro-democracy movement to back off or relax. The decision to escape the abuser is a crucially important first step. But it does not mean the danger has passed. Thanks for watching this awesome video.